Hello and welcome back. This is the second video in a four-part series. We are excited to bring you this four-part series on the vocabulary in part 12 of the N-400. Vocabulary in this section is becoming more important as USCIS officers are increasingly asking for the definitions of the terms on the N-400, and especially in part 12. This specific video will go over questions number 22 through 29 in part 12 on the N-400. All right, if any of the questions in this section apply to you, this is very important. If any of the questions in this section apply to you, you must answer yes, even if your records have been sealed, expunged, or otherwise cleared. Okay? Sealed, expunged, or otherwise cleared. What does that mean? Sealed means that they have been closed. Someone told you that your records are closed. Expunged means erased or removed. Someone told you that your records were erased or removed. You still must disclose this information. Please remember, even if someone, including a judge, law enforcement officer, or attorney, told you that it no longer constitutes a record or told you that you do not have to disclose the information, that does not mean that you don't have to disclose it here. You need to disclose it on the N-400 application. Very important. Okay, continuing on with more vocabulary. Committed a crime or offense. That means that you did something illegal, something against the law. An offense is a minor crime, usually a minor crime. So the question is, have you ever committed, assisted in committing, or attempted to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? Not arrested. Arrested means to be taken in handcuffs by the police in the back of a police car to the police station for fingerprinting and having your photo taken. You were actually arrested. As opposed to cited. Cited might mean that you were ordered to appear in court or pay a fine for doing something illegal, like you received a traffic ticket for speeding and you were stopped. That's being cited. Detained. Detained means stopped by a police officer or other government official for any reason. If they detain you to ask you questions. Okay? So the question is, have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained by any law enforcement officer, including any immigration official or any official of the U.S. Armed Forces for any reason? Be careful of this. Have you ever, remember we talked about ever, that means in your life. Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained? Okay, for any reason. We have a couple notes on this. If a police officer has issued you a ticket, you should answer yes to this question. Then complete the table in question 29 on the N-400 form. You do not need to include camera tickets or parking tickets. If you've had traffic tickets that were alcohol or drug related, or if you were arrested, you will need to submit documents. You will need to submit court documents. For other traffic tickets less than $500, USCIS does not require documents. It is always good to have documents, to bring them with you to the interview, but it does not require that you send them in with the application for those things. All right, charged. Charged. The police gave you a formal statement that you did something illegal. You were charged. Have you ever been charged with committing, attempting to commit, or assisting in committing a crime or offense? Have you ever been charged with committing, attempting to commit, or assisting in committing a crime or offense? Convicted. Convicted is to be found guilty of a crime in a court of law. Convicted. Have you ever been convicted of a crime or offense? Have you ever been convicted of a crime or offense? Alternative sentencing. Alternative sentencing is a different way to punish someone. Instead of sending them to jail, they might go to a community service or a work program. It's alternative sentencing. A rehabilitative program. That is a program that restores someone to health. Okay? Especially a drug and alcohol program. Deferred. Deferred means delayed until a later date. Your sentence might be deferred till a later date, not right now. Adjudication. That is a final decision on a legal matter or a court case. A final decision. What is the final decision? Have you ever been placed in an alternative sentencing or a rehabilitative program? For example, diversion, deferred prosecution, withheld adjudication, deferred adjudication. Okay? Have you ever been placed in an alternative sentencing or rehabilitative program? For example, diversion, deferred prosecution, withheld adjudication, or deferred adjudication. Suspended sentence. It's delaying of a sentence in order to allow the defendant to perform a period of probation. Okay? They might hold off on your sentencing until after your probation period. Probation is a system that allows a criminal to leave prison early or not go to prison at all if the person promises to behave well and keeps in contact with a probation officer. The probation officer will check in on that person to make sure they're doing their community service or staying somewhere they need to be staying in a different program. Okay, that's probation. Paroled. Paroled means to be let out of prison early by agreeing to obey set conditions. Okay. Question is, have you ever received a suspended sentence, been placed on probation, or been paroled? Have you ever received a suspended sentence, been placed on probation, or been paroled? Right. Here is part of the chart. It says outcome or disposition. Okay. That right here is the final status of the case. The final status of the case you would put right on that chart, and if you need more explanation, more documentation, you add additional sheets. Okay. Remember, USCIS looks up your traffic tickets and criminal records with the FBI, Interpol, and other organizations. They will see your record, your criminal history record in front of them. They will have that in front of them. This is why you give them your fingerprints and the physical description on the N-400. So what you say on your N-400 must match what they will find in their records when they do the background check. So it's very important, again, to tell the truth, disclose your information, and to be honest. Right? And there we have it. We're going to go to the next section of part 12. We'll go over questions 30 through 44 in the next video with more vocabulary words. Thank you.